Okay, hi everybody, it's Tobin from Remainders, and as promised, we are hanging out today with the winners of our Reuse Rumble, the first annual Reuse Rumble, Megan Bright and Gretchen Howard. Hi.
Hi, Tobin.
Thanks for coming.
I love your shirt.
Oh, it's not as nice as the dress that you made that won the Rumble, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming today. I appreciate it a lot. I know that our people on social media are excited to see not only the dress, but hear a little bit about you guys and just hear what your process was. So let's start with hearing about like, what was your background in like making things, building things before you started?
I was, making okay, so I've been sewing since I was like 6, but you know, it's a love-hate relationship. It can be tedious, it can be so expansive. And I started a sewing circle about 3 years ago, which of course kind of fell on its face during the pandemic, but came back to life really this year.
Yeah.
And Gretchen came to my sewing circle, and it's just been such a blast because sometimes, you know, we get together and sew, sometimes we just talk, and that's when Gretchen heard about the Reuse Rumble and invited me to join, and
You became a power team.
yeah.
What about you, Gretchen?
Yeah, I also learned how to sew when I was little. My mom taught me when I was, about 5 or 6. I started with like embroidering flowers on my little denim jacket with her, and then I was lucky to have some fashion and fiber arts classes in high school and college, where I did a little bit of like creating dresses, or we had a project runway inspired, what do they call it? The unconventional materials challenge and that type of stuff. But
So basically a complete rip off of what we did here.
yeah, they ripped you off.
Project and ripped us off. Just in mind, that's exactly what happened.
Tim Gunn could never.
Totally. No, I freely admit that I stole that idea from Project Runway because it sort of like fit with what we do. Like, you know, we already have classes that completely involve upcycling and reuse, and it was like, you know, it would be so fun to do something like that in a competition and just, you know, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I had a blast that day. I wasn't even doing anything. I just thought it was really fun to see all the creativity and see the things happening and everybody like also helping each other, which I think is so good. And I don't know, the whole thing was just had such good energy the whole day. Did you feel that way?
It definitely showed that, you know, you were having fun. I'm just kidding. It was really fun.
Oh, wow.
It was like, I always wondered what it would feel like to be on the time crunch and kind of working around other people and competing.
Yeah.
And it made me realize I think I would have like a nervous breakdown if I were to join like Project Runway or something. But I'm like a firm believer that deadlines and like competition and application of any kinds can really push you to see what's inside and like what can I do. So always a growing experience.
Do you feel the same, Gretchen?
Definitely. It was a lot of fun doing the timed challenge. Definitely felt like I was living my Project Runway dreams for a day, but also it was a really good push because I tend to have like analysis paralysis where I am kind of like, I don't know how to do this, so let me look up 8 videos and like read all this stuff, and then I'll end up putting it off for a long time. And so being, you know, in that time crunch on that day, like Megan definitely has way more technical skills than I do. Like we met when I took a sewing class with her at So FYI.
Pattern drafting.
Yeah, the pattern drafting class. And so I kept like questioning myself, but I was like, I just need to do it. So I think that was a really, plus it was just so much fun, and it was a really nice group of people, and so it felt very like supportive. It didn't feel, I felt a little bit nervous, but it was in a good way.
These ladies were incredible, incredible.
So talented.
Yeah.
Watching all their pieces come through, and you're just like, oh gosh, like.
Yeah.
They were cool.
There were some really great things that were made, a couple that didn't quite finish, but even, you know, I spoke to one of them that didn't quite finish, and she said, oh, I was so inspired, I had such a great time, it got me back into sewing again, and,
Nice.
you know, that was like, oh yeah, that's what makes it worth it, like, you had a great time, and you felt inspired, and, you know, were able to spend the day doing something that you love, like, you know, that's really, I think, what it came down to for her, and I felt so good when she said that, like, oh, that's great, I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I felt bad. The couple that didn't finish, I was like, oh, I feel bad. Like,
they were doing it solo.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Everybody was able to have a partner. And so if you didn't come with one, it's like, well, like, you know, you maybe were at a disadvantage. Definitely an advantage if you had two sets of hands, you know. And speaking of which, your first runner-up, they made 7 things.
They made a whole new line.
That I was like, she was wearing every piece of the jeans they took apart in a different, like, she had a bracelet, she had a hat, she had a scarf, she had a shirt, she had a skirt, she had a second skirt. It was like, or whatever you call that. I was like, they
My favorite
just,
was the hat. It was so adorable.
Did you feel like, during the day, did you feel like that competition with them or anybody else? Did you feel like, oh, they're pressing on us? Were you like monitoring what other people were doing?
I heard a lot of like conversations, like it felt like sewing circle, and I was like so surprised at how much was done, because I feel like we were just like, gotta finish. Like, I don't know if you remember in the intro, you were like, tell us a bit about myself, and then I was like, 3 seconds, okay, next. I was like, want to finish.
You were ready to go. You're like, I want to get going. Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people felt that way. Like, somebody showed up over an hour early and like several people were like, can I go downstairs? I was like, no, wait, like, we'll all go together. Like, they were really like,
I was
ready to go. And I heard from several of them also said like, oh, I can't wait to do it again next year. You know, they're like ready to go again. Are you guys going to do it again?
Yeah.
100%.
Really?
It was so fun, and now kind of gauging, because they're like, I feel like this year was kind of like the Wild West. It was like, we don't really know the rules exactly, we don't really know the judging criteria, but we're just gonna guess. And
I made it all up. I was like, the day before, I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
We were talking like the day before, like, well, they're probably gonna look for some kind of big transformation and stuff. That kind of.
Oh, and also the actual upcycling, you know, that's a big part of the mission of Remainders is upcycling and reuse and passing around things that other people could use. And so that was a big part of it. There were a couple that didn't quite do as much of the upcycling. It's like, well, that, you know, that kind of takes away from it, because that was the assignment, is to like bring in something and upcycle it into something else. And I think that's also what the most interesting part of it is seeing that it was like, this was a jersey and now it's a dress. And it while you can still see parts of the jersey in there, it looks completely different than it did. Like, that's what was so cool. And I think when I was in with the judges, that's kind of the thing that pushed it over the line, was like, you know, the other people made really cool stuff, but this was like really very fashionable and really something that people could wear and would wear. You know, you could see this in a store. That was kind of what it came down to. And it's gorgeous. And this, in case you haven't seen it, everyone, you will be able to see it in Remainders when you come to shop and visit. It'll be downstairs on display for who knows how long. And if you're interested in purchasing it, you can also talk to somebody about that. But this will be downstairs, the final garment made by Megan and Gretchen, upcycled from, was it a hockey jersey?
It was like a motocross.
Motocross jersey.
Yes.
So,
you can still see the tag.
Oh, very good. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's cool. It's right there. Yeah, look, it's beautiful. Look how well made it is, and just like it looks complete and really cool. Like the arm patch is cool. I mean, you completely made this sleeve, no?
It was, yeah.
So you had to take off the arm patch and you had to add, you know, it's like really cool. It's so beautiful. It's
Thank
really,
you.
To me it made, I mean, I wasn't a judge, so I couldn't really have an opinion, but I was like, oh, that's so cool. They were all great though. Everyone did a great job.
And I love that you came around and talked to us. That was super fun.
I wanted to be encouraging. Like, I talked a lot of crap about engaging, pitting you against each other, but I didn't really want to do that. I just was being silly. I was entertaining myself basically all day long. But I really wanted everybody to have a good time and enjoy it, and not think of it as much as a competition, as just this chance to get together and hang out and meet new people and make something fun. And that's what I, as a maker myself, that's what I think is really fun about making things, is the making. Like every year I make a costume for Halloween or more than one, and it's like the making of the costume is what's really fun. I don't really enjoy wearing them that much, but I love making them. And especially with other people around, like that's such a fun environment. So I hoped that it would be like that.
It was really great, yeah, like, cause I've been going to Megan's monthly circle, and so we've been like working on projects near each other, but this is actually the first project we've worked on together, and it was fun to have that like excuse and motivation to be like, hey, let's make something together.
Yeah, well, and on the social media post that you'll see for their garment, they include the mood board. Yeah. So you'll be able to see them like concepting it and everything, and I found that to be really fascinating and really cool. Like, and the mood board totally, like, I guess that speaks to your planning, because the mood board looks like this is what came from the mood board clearly. Like you can see it in the references and the inspiration. Like, yes, this is what came of that. That's I think was so fun. So you'll see that on social media. Let's see, what else could we ask? How long have we been doing this? It doesn't seem like very long. So you're gonna keep making things? Will you keep working together, do you think?
I think so, yes, absolutely.
Your power team?
I was like, okay, Megan, don't mess up this friendship. Like, that was one of my goals. Like, I was like, be like a good, because I'm nice, but I'm also an Aries, so I was like, is something gonna slip out that I don't mean? But Gretchen's absolutely fabulous. Like, so what is there to say? But yeah, it was super fun to collaborate and let her take the lead with designing, and then I kind of sort of took the lead with the technical designing. The night before, I was thinking, okay, we have, I know it says 5 hours, but we really probably had like 3.5 of sewing. So literally the night before, I took like a 60s pattern that I got here, of course, 1960s. I call it like the airline attendant. So it was a jacket with fisheye darts, and I just took it and lengthened it on paper and then altered. I just looked right at her mood board, and I was like, I noticed she had the same back neckline in all of them, all of her renderings. So I of course like added that, and then kind of another pattern was like a 1980s. I love the patterns, art remainders. It was like a.
I'm glad you said that into the camera. That was perfect.
Love the patterns. Love. You could take them and just change them. So it was like a raglan sweatshirt. I think 80s or 90s. Cool. Power mom, and then took it and like changed it and had this seatbelt that my buddy gave me.
Which is
been waiting to use this forever. So sometimes you have to wait a long time to use the materials, but it's worth the wait.
Yeah, I think so when something calls out to be part of something, you're like, well, I'm glad I kept this, and and it sort of all falls together. It makes sense.
The stars align.
The stars align.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for either one of you? What are you gonna make next? Gretchen, what do you think? Do you have something planned?
I'm definitely working on my Halloween costume.
Oh yes.
So yeah, I'm gonna be shopping at Remainders for some supplies. I
have a gift card.
Oh yeah, you should give card.
I'm so excited.
Oh
I
yeah.
should have some things on it. Yeah, I'm so excited.
That is good. What about you, Megan? What are you gonna make next?
I have got a few things in the works. I've been working on this jacket since May, just very slow, like letting it be like a process-driven sort of thing. So I look forward to finishing that
Cool.
and getting that up. And then I've been making a bunch of pincushions in the shape of fruits and also couches.
Cool.
So if anyone's interested, I just started that journey of kind of selling pincushions.
Where can people find those pincushions?
I'm recently on Instagram, so softspoke _
Okay, we'll tag both of you on Instagram too, so you can find it. And then what about the so the gift card? We know you're going to use that. There's nowhere else to use it but here. But what about the Paul Mitchell products? You won like almost $500 worth of supplies, which I hope you split evenly and nicely? There was no fighting there?
Not at all.
No, the opposite. We were like, you have to take more. Like,
I was hoping you would come with like pin straight hair.
yeah, no, I feel like I scored big with that because I got the straightening iron.
Oh yeah.
Which I haven't even had one since like high school when I used to straighten my hair every day.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. Even just like the smell of it like brought me back. But I did, yeah. It's
They're nice products. And
Like, how often do you get to win? That's.
no, right.
I'm just in the shower, you know. I'm like vibing. I'm like feeling like a winner. I'm like,
You're like washing your hair. This is winter hair. This is
it's
like
the highlight. It's the
yeah.
highlight.
No, it's good. That was very generous with Paul Mitchell. They were like,
yeah.
that was way more than I thought they would give us, and
Wow.
it's so nice. But they're a great company.
I even kept the gift basket.
Oh, the box, yeah.
Because we have birds, cockatiels,
yeah.
and they jump in there.
Oh, perfect.
So we're literally using every bit of it.
You upcycled the box. Very good. Very good. Well, great, you guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Congratulations on your win. Thank you for being involved with the Reuse Rumble. I really appreciate it. I think it was a hoot for everybody, and I'm excited for everyone to see this in the store. So come and look at it. Anything you'd like to say at the end?
I don't know. Thank you so much for hosting this. It was really
Oh, for sure.
Seriously, when I moved to LA, my first goal was like, okay, you have to get grounded and find a community. And this was 6.5 years ago, and Remainders has been that community. So truly, thank you so much, and hope to keep being part of it.
It's a great community. It's it's like a magical community of makers and people and artists and creative people, and especially a place where you can find like whatever you're looking for. Like, it's literally, the motto is "It's here somewhere," because it is. It's really weird, and that I think really makes the community tighter. It's like, oh, I know I can go to Remainders. I'll see somebody I know. People will be cool and nice. I can. You know, that's one of the cool things about working here is that if you work downstairs and someone wants to buy fabric or something, you'd be like, oh, what are you going to do with this? And they'll tell you, and it's always so interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's been a great community for me too. So I appreciate you saying that. All right, cool. Thank you again, you guys. That's it. We're all done.
Thank you, Tobin.
Thank you.